Hello everybody, Monty back playing some more Train Fever on hard. I'm just hanging out in my little house, having a cup of tea, watching the carriages go by, waiting for time to go by and waiting for the money to come in. But let's take a look at our lines. Welcome back, glad to have you. Thanks for all the comments, guys, and the views have really taken off. Really appreciate it. The support is great. That's what's gonna keep me pumping out these videos. Like I said, stay tuned. I've got some game keys coming your way for Train Fever, so I've got some of those to hand out. And yeah, there's been some discussion as to whether buses or trucks or whatever's best to go with what and who, when, why, and where. Now, I will address a little bit of that as we play, and basically, whatever works best for you. You can succeed in any direction as far as with buses or trucks. Depending on frequencies and things like that, some are better than others. I like to mix it up just because I like to play with everything. I like to try to use the challenge and not just go with what's easiest, but actually get multiple lines going and things like that. But definitely keep everything coming. I really like to see all the different strategies you guys are bringing. This episode I am going to add some bus lines so we can actually see these comparisons, and I want to explain why it is dangerous to start out with a lot of goods and have these carriage guys here. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to bring up my vehicle list because yes, I'm making a profit. It is now 1860, so 10 years has gone by since we've started. Let's follow this guy around. Give us something fun to look at while we're chatting away. So road vehicle number 9. What I want to do is when you bring your vehicles up, let me make sure that that's all good. Here we go. Let's just click on that age button and it's going to look at everything by age. Now, 10 years. Okay, road vehicle 1. This works out well because it is a goods vehicle, so this is good for comparison. Now, road vehicle 9, that's not a good example. He's 10 years old, so let's get rid of him. Let's go look for Coal Run. This guy's 1 year old. So this guy, same thing, right? Overview, if you look at it, they're both they're on different lines, but they're the same vehicle. So look at the details. But this guy's 1 year. Now this guy's 10 years. You can see the effect, especially on the hard setting, that the running costs of the vehicle that's 10 years old is now up to 6.55K a year. Now it doesn't seem like big money, but over time that difference does end up actually costing more than the vehicle itself, especially when you get into some of the more modern vehicles and things like that. So you definitely don't want to sit on a vehicle for, say, 50 years when it's only good for 30. The extra percentage, see, look at this running cost here. At 1 year it's only 3%, here it's 31%. This increase gets so high that your vehicles really will weigh themselves down. Now the problem with setting up these good lines early on is that it does take a while to make money. That's very, very true. And right when they start making a profit, all my profit, look, I have 260K, but my vehicles are all going to start retiring. So I'm going to start needing to reinvest in new vehicles, and it is still only 1860. So everything's still okay. I still plan to try to pay off my bank loans by 1870, perhaps, depending on how wild I go with some upgrades. But let's just jump into it. That's just a little bit of chatter on what I've noticed with the games, and definitely things to be aware of is your running costs over time. And you know, you want to set short frequencies. That's the other thing is, you know, is it good to take over the lines that are already self-managing? You know, Anton, you mentioned this as well, and then the Law Kill, you were the other guy who's, you know, we're all bringing up different conversations here about different tactics, and it's really, really good. Now, we're bringing up a point of, is it good to go ahead and have these goods go into your cities and provide a line if they're already doing it on their own? Now, of course, say this guy right here, he's working fine on his own, and I could try to say well, let's get this guy working, and I'm going to make, you know, I'm going to get a train that brings lumber here, and we're going to make goods for this guy. But now I have to then compete with this oil line that I'm not even making money off of. So I'd rather put a goods line here, which I will do in a second after we get some buses set up, because I just realized now that I don't have a truck line here, is that I might as well make money if the line's already running. And yes, the carriages aren't super fast compared to what these guys are already doing on their own. However, I'm making $0 on it now, and I want to make all the money. So here we go. Let's jump to it. Blackwater and Holly. This town I want to be big time. This is what I want to be, my big lake town. I'm going to have all the trains coming here. I'm going to be setting up some bus lines. So let's go roads. I'm going to stick with the little bus tram stop here. And I'm going to go with something simple. One thing that I did off camera, I went ahead because I don't want to be screwing around later when all the buildings are really expensive, is I looked at my road upgrades and I upgraded where I could to the large roads. Now, as you can see, there's already a bunch of collisions and such this way. So I'm going to go ahead and do a bus line up and down here, and then maybe a tram line or something here. And then I also want to start on Derryham. So I'm going to get these two towns started with some bus loops and some bus lines and tram lines. And then once these guys are getting some good mobility within their towns, it's train fever time, folks. We're going to connect Derryham and Blackwater and Holly with a train, but that might be next episode. And right now, let's just stick to getting this going. Getting it going. I'm going to go ahead and set this guy here. I'm going to go with a decent amount of bus stops, almost every, in the middle of each block. Yeah, and I'm going to flip it. So I'm putting a stop on both sides. If you guys have watched the 101 series, this is so I can flip my lines back and forth. Now, in the 101 series, I've noticed I have quite a few lines that are not 100% properly set up. I don't actually have the line. I'll show you in a second. Like when I set this one up, I go like 1, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I go this way, and then I forget to have it go back. So you still have to go 9, 10, 11, 12. Or what's going to happen is the 15 you don't actually need. What's going to happen is going to stop it at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way in here, and then they're going to stop at 8, and then they're just going to drive all the way back to 1. Now that's great for people who want to get from here to here really fast, but it's not great for someone who, say, wants to get from Park Avenue to here. They'll just walk because there's no bus picking them up this way. So make sure if you're going to do this little flip back and forth, put the stops on both sides. Now, I'm sure people are already starting to type the loops are better and all that stuff, and trust me, I'm gonna do mixes of everything. So we will get those as well. So let's go ahead and drop it like it's hot. It is already 1960, so we can already get our faster vehicles. This is gonna give us a little bit more top speed and a little bit more character on the count. But I gotta be careful, man. These are 60K each. Line 1. We will eventually rename these, of course. Ooh, something crazy I'm thinking about is a bus line from B&H over here to Broccoli Town. Yeah, I think so. And as long as I put 2 cars on it to start, which I just have enough money, what I think that's going to do for me, I'm going to go all the way in here. What I think that's going to do for me is get me a nice little transportation loop here and a high enough frequency to actually get this line working. Let's see what 1 car does on here. And I'm going to call them cars or buses. I'm going to call them everything besides what they are. So we're going to go this little carriage here, and I'm going to say buy 2 of them. And let's set those guys up for line 2. What's our frequency? 10 minutes. I can live with that. And I think the people of B&H can live with that as well. So we'll see how this line works. Just to get some residents moving back and forth, and then I don't know, we might just cut off the bus line and say, you got to take the train. You got to take the train. So okay, there went my little bit of profits there. How am I doing on my loan? I still got $1 million loan. Yeah, it's balancing. It's a balancing act. The nice thing is my interest is down to 25, but I want to, now I'm thinking I want to build up my money. Let's say I'm going to speed this up. I don't want to crash and burn by accident. And let's see, we're going to check these guys out. All right, 3 minute, 10 minute, and they are off. We're moving right along here, guys. Eventually we'll get these all spaced out and everything. Now the goods as well, I like to space them out. See, I don't stay zoomed in very long. I like to keep moving on and showing you guys what I got going on. Like these lines, I do have them set up to where they're only leaving when they're full, especially from the original material source, like this the forest. The forest. Actually, I haven't started a game series on the forest. That's a pretty creepy survival game that involves cannibals. Very different from Train Fever, so have not started one of those yet. Wow. Okay, so this is working out well. I do want to get a train or a bus line going here on this line. As you can see, we have expanded the downtown roads. Everyone's happy about it. They sense the growth. They're already starting to upgrade. Man, this is really starting up nice. Now, I would have liked to just start in 1900, but I want to get all the achievements, all the hard achievements, everything special, so I started in 1850. But come on, it'll be like 4 or 5 episodes. We'll be in 1900s, we'll be building trains, it'll be going crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Man, some longtime fans have been sticking around. Tim watched a lot of the 101 series. You've been commenting on the new hard series. I appreciate that. And he brought up a good point, which is that this game doesn't have like a planning feature. You know how you start the game, you press pause, and you kind of figure out where all your goods are or something like that. Something he brought up that was interesting would be like, it'd be cool if you could print out a sketch of the map or something like that, because that's basically what he's doing, is you get sketching out where all your cities are, where your goods are, and kind of pre-planning like that. It's almost how Prison Architect, I don't know if you guys have seen my series on that, but you actually get a planning feature. Now this game, I don't know how it would actually overly do it too much, but maybe once it populates a map, if you could maybe press the M key and get like just like an actual map, like it would pop up a regular map on your screen, show your cities, and then just little factory icons where all the goods are. So it would be a little bit easier of a view than kind of looking around like this and scrolling around. And maybe, I see what you're asking for. I mean, I like the hunt and exploration for everything. I mean, that's kind of what you get with, you got to do a little bit of work, but if you bring up your industries tabs and your town tabs, then you can start clicking around on stuff. But yeah, a little, I get your point. So I'm glad you bring that kind of stuff up. So yeah, there we have it. It's going nice. It's going real nice. I think we're almost there. I'm going to let this run a little bit more. I definitely don't want to stay on pause. That was just my example of you know, starting out a game and figuring out the setup. So I want to put more on line 2. I have faith in this crazy bus line, and even though these guys are close together, something I like to do, like this guy, I like to stop him, just reverse him, and just flip him around and add some spacing that way. Because look at this. Come on, say you're here for line 2. Yeah, 2 people are already waiting. Look at this over here. Already 13 people waiting. Ooh, these guys hold 6 each. So I might want to keep this guy going actually. So let's stop him. Let's reverse him. Now that these guys have at least spread themselves out a little bit, because these 2 guys are rushing over and they're going to pick up the 4 people waiting here. So that's gonna work out nicely. I could say, here's what I'm gonna do. What is this? Line 2? I'll show you how to do this real quick. Line 2, Manor Road. Let's say full load any on a passenger line. I don't really usually mess with those full loads on passenger lines, but for a long wait like this, and to spread it out nice and even, I want to have one of these little trolleys, which I'm going to call them trolleys. You ever watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? That's what these little trolleys remind me of. Even though I know these aren't even trams or trolleys, but they got that feel. And here you go. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, 6 filled up, and they're off. That guy, where are they going? Wait. Did they ignore the rules? He ignored the law. Stop. Reverse. Return. Let's check that out. I had that right. Full load any. He didn't even stop. So what happened is I think he was... Oh, see how this is stop 2? He was going to go over to South Street, which is the first stop, and then come hit up number 2. That's what happened. He was doing his job. He just, he was doing a little bit too by the book. He's like, hold on, I gotta drive to the other city first, and then I can come back and get you. No logic. I mean, there is logic. Too logical. They don't understand. They're supposed to read my mind. See, now look at all this wood. This is what Anton's talking about, where I've got a truck transporting wood, but then I've got wood transporting itself. However, all this tells me is not that this is a bad line. This just tells me I need more trucks on it to supply more wood. That's what it tells me. So I might, and that's the whole point, is if you look at my lines, I'm still kind of low on trains, and I'm saying trains, trucks. The reason why I don't want to dump, say, 10 of these guys on this, for one, that's where it brings up the Log Hills points, is it's going to get really expensive and I'm going to be replacing them faster than I'm building new lines. So what I want to do is just make some money now, let time go by, let these vehicles upgrade to actually some newer, faster vehicles where I will only require 4 or 5 vehicles, and then really let the goods line start pumping there. This was just to get a kickstart on some good lines. The buses are really going to start bringing in money, and then the train is going to do nothing but bring me into debt. So I don't want to jump to the train too soon. I want to get all my cities set up with some transportation first. That's going to be a challenge because I want to build this train. I might build one train, but this is hard. I got to remember, I got to not screw around. So, all right, guys, I've stretched this one out. I've sorry to keep you guys along so long on this one, but let's see how our bus lines are doing. Ooh, line 1 just went into profit, 3 minute, and then this one's 5 minute right now. How are we doing? They're filling up. Plenty of people waiting. As soon as these full cars drop off, because they are all full, they should start flipping a profit. We'll keep an eye on these finances. Because see, we're negative right now, but that's the running cost when before they were dropping people off. Will these 6 people going from here to here on each car be worth more than the expense going from here to here with that vehicle? Maybe now, but in 15 years, maybe not. So remember that. Keep an eye on these details and keep an eye on your running costs as they do get expensive. So, alright guys, I will see you next episode. I may have some new lines. What else is new? I have most everything labeled up. I definitely want to put some lines out here. Ooh, look at this. It's getting all wacky. I could connect this out. Yeah, I'm going to do some of this work here. For example, I'll get started showing you what I'm going to do. Scroll down, grab some of this. Now, I could just do this, and this looks crazy, because it's like, why am I helping out this guy? See, this is why it's all expensive. Every step. So you got to commit. I can't just throw this road down and then go, I don't care anymore. Now, if I just threw this road down and then didn't do anything, that was a total waste of $100,000. Because now I just made the oil a faster route to get here, and I'm not making money off of it. But trust me, I'm going to grab these roads, I'm going to throw down some of these guys right here, the truck stations. I always call them depots, and the depot stations. But I'm going to throw some of these down, and I'm going to start making money off of this, and I will see you guys next episode, maybe a little bit closer to 1870. I will see you. Thanks for watching, and again, keep those comments coming. Look forward to those giveaways and get those subscribes up. When I get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I am going to be giving a copy of Train Fever away. Hopefully we can do that within a month. Come on, guys. Let's spread the word, spread out the Train Fever love, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.